Hello, everybody, and welcome to Back and Forth. I'm your host, Gecko Man, and sitting beside me is our co-host, Rogue Gambit, the man who can only be killed if he dies.
Dude, you're embarrassing me in front of the wizard. That one was hard.
That definitely was hard. All right, we're going to move into our top 5 Marvel character hero entrances.
Yep, we decided to narrow it down to heroes because there's just too many entrances, and
That's
there's
what
still
you
way
said.
too many. There's still way too many.
That's what he says. I think it would have been totally fine with villains.
I had a top 5, but it was just so many that I just felt like I was leaving too many good ones out.
Okay.
I still feel like I'm leaving
one thing we should
good
say
ones
though,
out, but
we are not going to be including the whole entrance in Endgame.
yeah, we decided we couldn't include the portal entrance in Endgame because that was well, it's a little much.
Yeah.
That's kind of in a tier of its own, you might say.
Mm-hmm. I think we're just going to be sticking to
Single characters.
Yeah. So, since this is Marvel, would you like to go first on yours?
You could go ahead.
Okay. Wow, dude. I feel so honored. Number 5 for me was the very first time in the first Iron Man.
First time you see Iron Man?
Yeah, the first time you see Iron Man, it was more of the moment he first uses his suit to fight his enemies.
So the first time he uses the Ironmonger suit when he comes out of the cave, or the first time he uses Iron Man suit and he goes and frees the village?
It comes out of the cave.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's a good one.
It's a really good one. I did like that moment though. Later down.
Yeah, but I was gonna be like, are you sure you want to pick that if you pick the other one? Because I think this one is better.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah, the cave one is by far pretty so amazing. Good. Like, oh.
Yeah, when he just like walks out and you like see the finished product and just like the terror and the and villains.
So I will say real fast, all of my choices have been of what I felt in that moment.
Yeah.
This one, I just felt like, first off, I didn't know much about Iron Man, but when I saw that, I was like, whoa, this could be somebody I could really enjoy. Like,
yeah, I can see that.
It's like, oh, so good. Like, he built this suit in a cave. Like,
yep.
Pretty amazing. How about your number 5?
All right. My number 5 is Wanda becoming an Avenger.
Wanda becoming an Avenger?
Yes. When Hawkeye says, you walk out that door, you're an Avenger. And then she opens the door and walks out, and it goes into slow motion and she just wreaks havoc on the Ultron bots, just destroying them and ripping the heart out. Oh my goodness, that whole sequence of Wanda just absolutely
that's pretty
destroying
good.
Robots is so good. And it's such like visually just beautiful. I love the soundtrack at that point.
Yeah.
Silvestri.
You just gotta love Wanda's, like, the way she does her fingers to do that stuff, and those effects and stuff.
Yeah, the effects are amazing.
Just glorious. Yeah, I really hope they bring more like Wanda moments like that.
Yeah, I hope she gets a really big spotlight in Multiverse Madness. You can watch my trailer breakdown on the YouTubes.
As you can tell, we're still new at like promoting our own stuff.
Our segues are seamless. What are you talking about?
Anything else you want to say about Wanda?
What's your number 4?
My number 4 is, of course, has to come. It comes from Civil War when we first see Spider-Man.
Oh,
I think it is probably the best moment of Civil War. Probably the best moment in Civil War.
Okay.
Just because, we finally get Spider-Man. Like, we see Spider-Man, we see him in his suit, and he looks really good. Like,
yeah, he looks very good.
And of course, it wasn't at his best moment, I must say. Like, I think Homecoming really brought out the best Spider-Man right there.
Mm-hmm.
But it just was so good. I felt like it was very, I don't want to say flawless, but I also want to say flawless.
I mean, yeah, that entrance is, I don't want to say too much about it, not to give away, but this will be coming up later on in mine. Wait, is it my next one? And so, yeah, anyways, it's very good. Like, we know it's coming, but I was just so excited for it, in the moment.
It was just,
I love Spider-Man.
What I felt in that moment was just like, it's we finally see Spider-Man.
Yep.
We finally see him. He looks amazing. Like, goodness, I just loved it. I'm gonna stop talking about it before I get way too deep into it. Because
No, we'll talk about it more later. Don't worry.
yeah. What about yours?
My number 4 is from the first Avengers movie
Really?
when Iron Man shows up and defeats Loki.
That's a good moment.
It is so good. I'm not a big fan of Iron Man as a character,
Mhm.
but that scene is just so good. It just like concisely shows who Iron Man is like in that moment so well, right?
Yeah.
It starts out, he hacks the system, Shoot to Thrill starts playing, his song that you already know is his song from Iron Man 2, and then he comes in, and then he doesn't just like, doesn't land and start fighting. He just lands and takes out Loki.
Yeah.
Just like that. Fires the thing, takes out Loki. And then, yes, we learn later that Loki was just giving himself up and you were kind of just like, what the heck? Why is Loki doing this? But he just comes in, takes him out, and just was like, done,
Yeah.
And it's just so good.
Yeah. Oh man, that is a good moment to choose right there. I will say, like, I feel like it really captivates what Tony Stark is.
Yes, I agree. And that's why I really, really, really wanted to choose his entrance in Infinity Wars. That if I was picking like Iron Man suit up scenes, that one's better, right?
Yeah.
Like, or it's just the best Iron Man suit up scene, right? Like the seamlessness of the CGI of the suit going on his body, and then the way he just like walks forward, takes off his glasses, just gorgeous. But because it doesn't capture his essence as well as the first one, that's why I picked that one.
Why did I just destroy your next pick? I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I feel like a horrible human being at this moment. Well, what's horrible is I kind of let you go on. Whoa, Gecko man, what is your number 3 pick? It is Iron Man in Infinity War.
Great moment. This moment is so good.
So after I have seen like all the Iron Man movies, I did a little research on Iron Man, kind of learning about what type of hero he is, and I discovered that he had a nano technology suit.
Yep.
And I was like, man, that would be really cool to see on screen and stuff. And they brought that, and I was like super excited to see this and see what type of weapons he would have, what type of stuff he had. And I thought it was a perfect culmination of what Tony Stark had learned over all these movies.
Agreed. Yeah, like the fact that he's just upgraded his suit to counteract the next threat every single time.
Now, I don't know if I can believe you after what you just said.
No, like I said, this is really a very good one. It's just I was explaining why I chose the other one over it. Okay.
Like I said, I can't believe you now.
The other thing I really liked about this scene is the fact that Iron Man 3 and the fact that he took the shards out of his body,
Yeah.
And I hated that aspect of that movie, and I was really just ready to be frustrated with where they went with that plot. But then the way that they set it up with him like arguing with Pepper, and he's like, I still need to I need to protect us. And that just setup just made it's just did away with that plot point that I didn't like in such a seamless way that then that entrance was able to happen. And it was amazing.
Yeah.
And just beautiful. Like I said, the CGI is so good.
Yeah.
And just hit the acting of Robert Downey Jr. in that moment. And just like what led up to it, right? When he's like, says it's without first, I got this, Oh, so good.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I just want to talk about your moment.
Please. Actually, the funny thing is, I watched that suit up scene like so many times when I first watched it because I loved it so much because it just flawlessly goes like all around him and it's like whoa. And the funny thing is I never realized about his glasses until the 7th time I watched it. I was like, whoa, his glasses are the nanotech.
And then what I was also going to say, sorry, when he is like doesn't lose his character through that. Like he like Robert Downey Jr. does such a good job of portraying Tony Stark in that moment. And like
Yeah.
in the heat of the battle, right? He like keeps his wit, keeps his humor. Just so good.
Yeah, it's really good. Even if it's something that seems like they are losing to.
Yep.
And really good, really good. All right, shall we move on from this
Sure.
after you completely destroyed my number 3?
Yes, now that we know that my number 4 is so much better than your number 3, my number 3 is also from Infinity War, and it is Captain America's entrance.
Sorry, so I just slammed my book in a slight anger.
Why are you angry this time?
But continue. I will let you know that I do have this in my list. So
Okay. This scene, okay, is so good. I have to say this is one of my favorite soundtrack moments in a Marvel.
It does
scene.
have a
one of my
really,
favorite, not my favorite, one of my favorite.
it has a really good soundtrack.
Yes.
It's so good.
The lead up, right, with Wanda and Vision's fight, right? Well, they're not fighting each other.
Yeah.
They're fighting Corvus Glaive and Proxima Midnight. And that fight, just beautiful.
Mhm.
Wanda, oh my goodness, such good choreography in that fight with her having to like keep Vision up while fighting. Just so well done. And then they land and you're just like, they're gonna lose, right? Then the train comes by, the soundtrack goes into that whine. You're like, what? This is weird. And then you see this figure and you're just like, oh, I remember in the theaters just getting so excited at that moment.
It is
and then as Proxima Midnight throws her spear and he just catches it.
That was beautiful.
Goodness. Amazing. And then the fight that ensues is okay.
Yeah.
Not great. I have to say the choreography in that fight, not spectacular, but good. Very good.
I can agree with you on that.
Not to ruin your list, but that is why I should have put it higher.
You are destroying me this episode.
I'm sorry. I literally thought my list was going to be very different from yours, so I was not.
Yeah, same here. I thought mine was going to be different from yours, but clearly not. All right. Well, I will talk about it more once we get to it in my list.
Okay. So what is your number 2?
My number 2. I don't know if I will get. You might be all right with this. It is a Thor moment. Now, I really want to challenge you of which Thor moment this is.
I'm going to go with. I mean, I don't want to guess.
Okay,
because I just don't want to guess.
My guess is you have this in your list as well.
Oh my goodness, we have each other's same list.
It is the Infinity War moment.
Okay,
when he comes down to Earth and he bring me Thanos. Like,
yes,
that is beautiful.
Yep,
and just in that moment, I was like super excited. Even though we know Thanos isn't on the planet, we know he has to come there at some point to gather the Infinity Stones. And knowing that they're one of their strongest heroes is on that planet gives you that kind of thought of like they actually might win this.
Yep,
but doesn't. But it's this thing that like I always find enjoyable to have, like when I watch a movie of something like this, of a superhero where they give you this false hope of something. I actually find that, for some reason, I find that a little enjoyable. Like,
they did it spectacularly, right? Like, me in the theater in that moment was sure he was going to kill him.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he has his weapon and he's already ahead of Thanos.
Yep.
And he's just like, all right, bring me Thanos and then we'll get this over with.
The whole way the axe is even traveling. You're just like, oh, there's nothing he can do. He can't do anything. He's coming. He's going to win. And then, Anyways.
Yeah.
Don't need to get into the snap.
No. Moving on. What is your number 2?
My number 2 is from Captain America: Civil War, and it's Spider-Man's entrance.
Oh, nice.
I
honestly was not expecting you to pick anything from Civil War, so this is kind of a surprise.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting you to pick anything from Civil War anyways. This was in number 4. Then I took out all my villains and it became number 2.
And clearly you thought Iron Man was...
Yeah. I almost put in a couple of other Spider-Man ones in place of this.
Yeah.
But I think I like me in the theater was just the most excited about this one when it happened. Even before Civil War came out, I knew he was going to be in the movie, right? We all basically, unless you were living under a rock, you knew he was going to be in the movie. And going in, he goes and visits him, he's probably going to show up, right?
Yeah.
And then the fight starts happening. They're fighting. And he shows up.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. The choreography, the line work that Tom Holland does and his stunt team does is so good.
Oh, yeah.
That entrance, just the crowd reaction on opening night was just incredible. And yeah, I don't know. I just felt I was just so happy in that moment. Spider-Man was in the MCU. Like,
yeah, it's something we
can't really
waited
beat that.
for a very long time.
Yes.
It was a good moment to have right there.
And yeah, my favorite Marvel character was there. That wasn't Winter Soldier, that already was there.
All right.
So it's your number 1.
Well,
since nobody knows what it's going to be.
It is the moment when Captain America appears in Infinity War. You just get that beautiful soundtrack coming through. I personally really love the soundtrack that comes through, and
the train.
And so in that moment, like, it's Captain America, but in a way, to me personally, I felt a little terrified by what he was doing because I never really seen Captain America be this way.
It was dark. Yeah,
and it was scary, and it definitely the way he was, because anybody else who was standing there, I'm pretty sure everybody would have not would have not taken notice to.
What?
Like, if we had just some random guy standing there, why would they all look to him?
Oh yeah, yeah. I think it definitely shows how he commands his presence there, and just they have to like look at him he's so menacing. He's so just big.
Yeah.
He's so.
And what impresses me even more is he didn't have his shield, and he caught that spear and then just walked forward, just this thing, and you're like, whoa.
Get this man a shield. Yeah. It is beautiful.
Yeah, I love Captain America. Great character.
Yep. And his character arc through Infinity Wars, we don't have to go into this. I really want to do a breakdown or a full review of Infinity War someday, because I think it's one of the reasons it's one of my favorite Marvel movies is the way each character stays so true to their character, even going through something so dramatic.
Yeah.
And you have this character of Captain America that we haven't really seen since Civil War, and we don't know exactly where he's at, and to bring him in and just instantly be able to just grab the audience like that, just so well done.
Oh man, just I felt honestly excited to see this new type of Captain America.
For sure.
It was good. Okay, enough about Captain America. What's your number 1?
All right, since nobody here knows, I'm pretty sure most people, if they listen to our podcast very much, knows that this was going to be in my list.
Yeah. Or if this is your first time on our podcast, go check out our other episodes.
Yep. I talk about this moment a lot.
Yeah, you do. It is the moment with Dr. Octopus in No Way Home.
Yeah, Doc Ock. Yeah, he just shows up there. We're not doing villains. No, this is the moment that Thor shows up in Infinity Wars. It's not only one of my it literally has one of my favorite shots. It has one of my favorite soundtracks. It has one of my favorite culminations of a character arc, all coming together in this moment where Thor, who I've talked about his character arc many, many times. It's one of my favorites. It's one of mine that from start in the first Thor movie all the way to this moment is just unparalleled in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, in my opinion. And that's not degrading any other characters. A ton of them have incredible character arcs, but
I don't know about that.
in my opinion, his is the best. And just in that moment, you feeling all his emotions, just like seeing him realize, in air quotes, his true power.
Yeah.
And it's just gorgeous. Oh my goodness, CGI once again, so good in that moment.
You also get that feeling because like after he had come there, came in and he did his like bring me Thanos. He just wipes out like a huge amount of those creatures.
Yeah, he lands and just takes out hundreds of them immediately.
Yeah,
and I mean, it's like you see your heroes, right? They've all like fought so hard and are just losing to this obscene number of creatures, and then he shows up and you think they've won.
Yeah.
And in that moment, just like we said with the Captain America intro, like he just like commands so much like respect, like look at me, just power, and just goes straight for Thanos, just not for the head.
Wow, you just had to throw that in there.
Sorry.
All right. Well, that's our list.
This was not an easy list. Like there's so many other, like just for each of these characters. Like I basically had to pick 5 characters that I love and that I think they did a really good job with, and pick like their best. But like even with that, it was still hard. Like Spider-Man, like you had Infinity War. I almost picked his entrance for Infinity War. I almost picked his entrance in Homecoming. I almost picked his entrance in No Way Home. I almost picked a lot of entrances in No Way Home. Tobey Maguire. There were just so many good ones. Even narrowing it down to heroes, it was so hard.
Yeah, it was difficult.
I tried to get Gecko to do a top 10 heroes.
This just means we're gonna have to,
we'll have
make
to do another one.
Another one. Sure. Yeah. Definitely in the
future.
Have to do
the villains. Maybe we'll do that soon.
Yeah. Definitely. Oh man, I would be excited to do that.
Yep.
All right.
I'm pretty sure we'd have the same list again. Sorry about having the same list.
It's just going to be
proof that we clearly do not collaborate beforehand.
Yeah, like we will honestly, every time we make these separately.
Very separate, yes.
So we have no idea what the other makes, and it kind of gives it that more realistic vibe of stuff. So this is all for you guys.
Yeah. But enough talking Marvel. Let's talk Marvel.
Wait, hold on. I was clearly not ready for this.
Yes. Soon we'll finish each other's sentences, but not quite yet.
We're not there yet. All right. So watch the second episode, third episode. Getting my episodes mixed up here. Watching the third episode.
So Gecko, how was the third episode of Midnight?
Just had to interrupt me there. Sorry, my mind's all scrambled after a little debacle in our top 5 there.
Yeah, I'm sorry. When you gotta destroy somebody, you gotta.
Yeah. So I thought it was at least better than the second episode. I want to say
it was definitely better than the second episode.
Mm-hmm. I did really like Steven during that one fight. That was so funny.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. I thought, let's start with what I loved about this episode.
Okay. Yeah, what did you love about this
Oscar Isaacs? Oscar Isaacs absolutely amazed me.
And his switching?
And the whole thing. Like, pinnacle, yes, being when he's in the court, talking to the other avatars, and he just like completely can divorce part of his face from the rest of his face.
Oh yeah.
Completely separate what his body's doing to what his facial expressions are showing. I mean, it was just spectacular.
That was impressive.
It was, oh my goodness. But the whole show, he's been amazing, and I thought in this episode by far was like the best Oscar Isaacs, just acting so well.
There's more stuff that can come that he could probably like up his acting and stuff. So,
but that was amazing, to say the least. And that was my far my favorite part, though that scene I did not like. I did not like the other avatars. I didn't
Yeah.
I didn't get why they brought Harrow there. Like I didn't get the whole the whole like them trusting Harrow so much, or them like bringing Harrow back in.
Yeah,
The whole relationship between the other avatars and Harrow just didn't make any sense to me. And do they not know that he is the avatar for Amut? Like,
I don't think they know.
I feel like they know shit. Like they're avatars, and they like know when other people are avatars.
Well, maybe he's not like the. I'm wondering. No, he should be the avatar of a movie.
I mean, I guess we don't know for sure. We just like I think in the first episode they said something about that, right?
Yeah.
So that was just super.
I think
confusing.
he said something that might have pointed us towards the direction of him being the avatar,
right?
But I don't know. Like, so yeah, I don't know.
That was just confusing. I really like the story that they were telling. I like the fact that. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, I want you to finish off with.
I like the fact that they're like going to be having Mark Spector have to go and save Khonshu after like they've had, him and Khonshu have been not exactly seeing eye to eye, and but he's gonna have to go choose to be the avatar of Khonshu again so that he can save the world. I think that was a good choice.
That was a good choice. It definitely gives you because throughout this entire.
I do hope he goes and gets that quickly because I want some more Moon Knight.
Yeah, same here. It definitely was an interesting take to first off remove this amazing suit and stuff and power from our main character.
Yep.
But also just something kind of interesting because we see a lot of it that Khonshu and Mark Spector's relationship wasn't like the best.
Yep.
But it was interesting. Quick question here. So while we were watching, I noticed you had a little something to say about what's her name? Layla. What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, it was very expected, but they basically all but confirmed that Layla is just their adaptation of Darlene from the comics by saying that her father was a archaeologist that died and left her with this task to blah, blah, blah. And I had, as you guys will remember most likely in our pre-Moon Knight expectations episode, I said that was a possibility. She could just be their version of Darlene, but it just didn't make sense to me why they would change her name to Layla unless they were going to do this big reveal or something. And they didn't do that. They just dropped a little Easter egg that told you who she was, and it was like, why isn't her name Darlene? Like, you could have just told us she was Darlene, and yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was just wondering that maybe they dropped that little Easter egg, and I had this thought kind of roaming through my head here, thinking about it, and I was like, maybe she isn't Darlene. Maybe it's just some random person who's getting the spotlight for a while. She's going to die, and then Mark Spector meets Darlene. I know, okay. Crazy thought, but it's a thought I had.
That could be. I doubt that's what will happen.
Yeah, exactly. Or maybe her real name is Darlene.
Right, that's what I was because they're in there, making a passport. I was like, okay, they're gonna reveal her real name's Darlene. They're gonna reveal her real name's Darlene, and then they're just like, oh, her name's Layla. I didn't look at every little thing. Maybe there was an Easter egg somewhere that said Darlene on it, or the last name. I think her last name's like, I don't know, Arenado or something. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Arenado, maybe?
I don't know. Like, I haven't read any Moon Knight comics, and I will be reading Moon Knight comics. So
they're good.
But did we see the name on the passport? Because I missed it. If we could see it.
Yeah. I don't remember what the last name was, but I just saw that it said Layla. That's all I was really looking at. Maybe it was her middle name. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd have to.
Or do we know if Darlene's? What do we know Darlene's middle name?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay, because maybe it is Layla. That seems too far. She just wants to be called a different name. So here's the thing. What brings me to that thought process of her changing her name. We're getting too much into this, but let's continue. So from what I understand from what you've told me, I don't know if we've mentioned this on our podcast, but we know that Mark Spector was hired. Was he hired by her father? Am I correct to say that?
So her full name on the passport was Layla Abdullah Al Fawli.
Whoa.
So no, Darlene. What's your question?
Am I correct to say that Mark Spector, before becoming Moon Knight, he was hired by her father?
Yeah. So her father hired Bushman and his mercenary crew that included Mark Spector, Frenchie, or otherwise known as you call it. Oh my goodness, I can't remember his name.
Wow.
Anyways, and they go with Darlene and her father to the pyramids in Egypt, and Bushman turns on them, kills her father. Most of the crew, Frenchie lives, and he leaves Mark for dead. Frenchie lives and Mark and Frenchie save Darlene, and then he leaves Mark for dead, and that's when he becomes Midnight.
Okay. So my thought process on this is, what if he's not dead, her father?
That could be possible.
And she had to change her name due to that. I don't see that happening, but it is a possibility. It's just some thought process going on.
That could
here.
be.
But or stay with me here. Come on, connect the dots here with me.
Look, it's a star.
So what if maybe someone from the group is still alive as well?
Well,
or
I'm
something.
guessing Bushman's out there somewhere, right?
Yeah.
We haven't gone into the past too much. I thought maybe Hero would be the Bushman type character, but clearly Layla doesn't recognize him, so I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well,
And Frenchie had called him, if you remember.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
So he's alive somewhere.
For all we know, he's alive.
All right.
He could
His
be dead.
phone is not dead. That's all we know.
Such an interesting way of putting it. His phone is not dead.
Another little thing that happened is we finally, quote unquote, met Jake Lockley. We met him as much as we met Mark in the first episode.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes. Sorry, for a second, the name escaped me. I didn't know who you were talking about there. I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
If you guys don't know who I'm talking about the third personality of Mark Spector and Stephen Grant, Jake Lockley.
Well, it's kind of interesting. So, who is Jake? Whatever his name is, Lockley
In the comics?
in the comics. What kind of person is he?
He's a cab driver.
Okay.
He basically just like sees what's going on the streets. He would be like your street level personality. Gets to see, the darker side of the city, see what's going on, gets intel. He doesn't usually he's not, a fighter like Mark or anything. He just kind of gets intel and gives it to the other personality so that Moon Knight can bust some heads. Bust the right heads, you might say.
So, if it is
So they're definitely not going that route because he seems like he's going to be the uber violent.
Yeah, exactly. That's
personality.
That's exactly what I was about to say, because he just killed off. He just killed off these two guys and injured this other guy.
Yep.
And
here's a question for you: was Jake Lockley the one who
I think I
wanted to go to the airport?
Wanting to go to the airport.
Right, because Mark's there, and it looks like Steven's about to take over the mind, right? And that's what you think, because he's, not beating people up when they come back.
Yeah.
And
he's trying to get out there. But Steven never seemed to want to get out of Egypt. Like, he
Yeah.
still wanted to protect Layla. But he also did care more about his other life, it seemed. So that we don't really know. But then the way that the bad guys, what were they?
Yeah,
What were,
I don't know.
They
Thugs,
were
thugs.
Harrow's. I guess they were Harrow's men, right?
Yeah.
Harrow's, the way Harrow's men acted, it wasn't like he had just like left them there, right? It was more like somebody had. But then I would think Jake Lockley, based on what he did to them later, would have killed them, not just.
Yeah, but if you think about this, though, maybe he didn't kill them for a reason the first time. Maybe he was trying to help Mark
So
Spector.
why was he trying to get out of Egypt?
I don't know. That is a good question. Maybe that was some clue into what he really wants to do or something. Maybe that's trying to help Mark Spector get to where he needs to go.
The other thing is Khonshu seems to know about Steven, right? When in the first episode he's like, wham, and he always is telling Mark, like, take over the body or don't give it to Steven. But he doesn't seem to know who the heck Jake Lockley is. Like, why would that be the case?
I don't know. Maybe, you know what? Here's my thought process on that.
Or maybe he just doesn't want to tell him. Anyways, go ahead.
Exactly. No. So he does know about all these other personalities that Mark has. I don't know how many he actually has in the comics, but let's say there's those 3 right now.
Yep.
So he knows about all 3 of them. He doesn't want Steven to do it because he thinks Steven is just this dumb
Wham.
Yeah, this wham. But he's totally fine with this other guy doing it because he's
Violent.
What?
Violent?
Oh, violent. It sounded like he said Phil.
I
like
said violent.
Oh, violent.
So reference.
Because he seems to be willing to kill and get information
He seems
out.
to
So
subside
I think Khonshu isn't telling Mark Spector about it because he feels Mark Spector might like stop whoever this guy who.
I feel like, yes, that's the case now, but I feel like a couple months ago in his life, Mark would have relished that, right? Like, Mark has very recently been less violent and more.
Yeah, true.
And that could be interesting. That could be why Jake Lockley is now like, maybe he's a very new personality, and that's why he's been created by Mark's broken mind, is because it craves this violence.
Yeah.
And now that Mark is turning less violent, he needs this violent side of himself.
Yeah.
And it has created this third personality to do that.
You done?
No, I can keep talking.
That's a good point because it seems like they're doing the same thing with this personality of when we were in the first episode with Steven. And yeah, that's a good point because it could be this. He's a completely new personality now, and he craves that violent side.
Yep.
Anything else we want to talk about? We kind of went on a little off the rails with this personality.
I mean, we're just talking midnight. So yeah, the gods. The gods were weird. I did not like that
definitely
scene.
was weird.
Just was so poor.
Yeah.
Storytelling, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. What about our good old bad guy here,
Arthur Harrow? I liked him. I thought Ethan Hawke's been portraying him very well.
Oh yeah.
I really like the scene where he's like with his little followers, like, we found it, we found her, we found her.
You just like a celebrating scene.
I just thought he did a really good job in that scene.
Yeah.
Like I said, I didn't really like his interaction with the gods. It just didn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
But I did like, though I was not a fan of the fact that he was, I should say, Khonshu's avatar before. I was kind of a fan of like his interaction with Khonshu's statue. That was interesting.
Yeah, even though he had to be like with the gods.
Yeah,
and stuff. Yeah, I think that's. Yeah,
we don't get to see too much of him in this episode,
which was kind of interesting.
I also liked the way he like interacted with the black market dude. Though I thought like his display of Amit's power was kind of lame. It's like chant, 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 whatever, and I'm gonna do this big display of power. And I thought he was gonna like raise this mummy from the dead, but then he's just like, I break the box.
Oh yeah.
But I do see like he was clearly destroying the evidence, right? He was trying to get rid of that so that he couldn't find the clue. Mark couldn't find the clue.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they had to tape it back together. I do like that they didn't tell you that. I do love it when somebody doesn't makes you think as an audience, doesn't tell you everything.
Mm-hmm.
More on that in the after part.
All right.
Anything else?
I think we've covered almost everything in this episode. I mean, the only thing that we haven't talked about. The only thing that we haven't really talked about was the whole scene with them moving the stars.
Beautiful.
Very beautiful.
Finally, some good CGI. Good CGI.
I don't know if it was very...
I liked Khonshu's line. I remember every night.
Yeah.
Or I remember that night. I remember every night. That was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I had no problems with it. I can see why people would have problems with it, being like, what the heck? Like, he's like, has this power. That's kind of dumb. He doesn't have that power.
But he kind of needed Khonshu's help to
right. I like that they both needed to be like him, the Avatar and the God had to both be working in unison. I liked that about it. It was fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Since you were going in wanting to be a big fan of Mr. Knight, what did you think of Mr. Knight in this episode?
I liked, so of course, Mr. Knight is the same.
Everybody calm down.
I love that scene. That's a great scene. One thing I will say,
that reminds me of a problem I had. Go on.
One thing I will say before we get really into Mr. Knight here is during that fight scene, I did like how Moon Knight was. I did kind of like the fighting he was doing. The way of taking the hits and stuff, as you said before.
Oh, I love that scene. He just runs through the fence.
Yeah, that was so good. For a second, it took me a moment to realize he ran through the fence. But Mr. Knight, he's not doing what I'm hoping that I'm wanting him to do, like being the detective style. Even though he was Steven, I'm forgetting their names. Steven was doing all this
problem solving
that I did like. I like this.
Yeah, I did too.
I like this side of Steven, seeing him solve these puzzles.
Blossom into such a beautiful character.
Okay. Calm down. So I thought Mr. Knight was okay, even though he just with him in his suit with one scene really was just him saying, let's calm down.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, pretty good.
So speaking of that scene, I really liked almost that whole fight scene. There was just one problem I had.
What?
So they're all shooting at Layla, right? And Moon Knight jumps and like protects her with his cape. Love that scene. But then minutes later, people stab right through him with sticks.
Yeah.
Like either things pass through you and they don't hurt you and they kill Layla because the bullets pass through you and kill her.
Yeah.
Or bullets can't pass through you. They would get stopped by your suit and therefore these sticks would not pass.
It was really
stab into
confusing.
you. Very confusing. There are definitely ways around it. I understand.
Yeah.
But wasn't a fan of that fact.
Only thing I'll say is he probably it's some type of power that he has.
It could be that like his cape blocks things, his body.
Well, it clearly ripped. I saw some rippage in the cape.
Right.
So, all right, enough about that.
All right, yeah. I think that's enough Moon Knight for today.
Yeah, we definitely talked a good amount.
Move on to upcoming.
All right. So I have some new things to talk about.
Ooh, that's good because I really don't.
Okay. So, of course, as we all know, Obi-Wan Kenobi, is coming out 2 days later on a Friday, which is really weird. But Bad Batch.
I bet I know why.
Why?
They're probably moving it to Friday so it doesn't come out on the same day because it will be having some episodes come out at the same time that Miss Marvel comes out, right? How many episodes is it? So it's more than
I'm
like
not-
a couple, right?
Yeah, I'm not
Because I think it'll be like 3 weeks before Miss Marvel starts coming out. So unless it's only like 3 episodes, then it'll be coming out at the same time as Miss Marvel.
Oh,
They probably don't want them coming out on the exact same day, so they're gonna have Marvel stuff come out on Wednesdays and Star Wars stuff come out on Fridays. That's probably
Okay,
they're going
okay.
for that.
yeah. So we'll figure something out for you guys so we can have that content for you.
No, we're just not gonna talk Star Wars anymore. Okay, that sounds good.
Wow.
How's my
Wow.
impression of Gecko? I'm pretty good.
But we did get some new information on Bad Batch. Finally, I was able to figure out what's going on and stuff.
Well, as I say every time, nobody cares.
Bad Batch was pushed back a little bit this
Okay.
year.
Fun.
But
So now
there's
is it
going to
in
be
the
a
winter
time
time?
jump.
What?
So our main one of our characters, Omega, will be a bit older.
Well, hopefully
So-
they're a better character as well.
Yeah, I'm hoping she becomes a better character because I think they could really do some good stuff with Omega if they do it right.
Anything else?
If only you knew.
Oh, I know.
Other than that, nothing too interesting. I'm hoping they maybe kind of just. I really want them just to change all of the Bad Batch outfits and their.
Okay.
So that's my personal opinion. What I want. Nothing on Andor still.
Really?
Yeah, which is a surprise. It might be something same kind of thing as we are getting with Thor: Love and Thunder. So,
Yeah. About that.
yeah, let's get into your stuff.
All right. So, in the good news category, we got some more Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness stuff. I've not seen the trailer that got released today when you're listening to this. Oh, I think it will still be today. It might have been yesterday. I don't remember. But a new trailer, little clip got released. I haven't watched it yet, but at least we got some more footage.
Of Thor: Love and Thunder,
No,
or are you talking
Multiverse
about
of Madness.
Multiverse of Madness? Yes, I know what we're
On the
talking
other
about.
hand,
Sorry,
Thor: Love and Thunder still has nothing. Don't watch right when we finish recording. I'll look at my phone and it'll be posted. Because what the heck? Like, we're moving into like 90 days till it comes out. Less than 90 days till it comes out. And yeah, I don't know what's going on.
and there hasn't even been any talk of it being pushed back or anything like that.
No talk of it being pushed back. And like, yep.
I wonder if it's
So
just
maybe they're going to wait all the way. I mean, like at this point, they might as well wait till Multiverse of Madness to release it. And so
Yeah,
they
I'm
might
just
be.
wondering. Maybe it's due to the amount of.
like they're still doing a ton of reshooting and stuff.
Yeah, I wonder if it's due to the amount of hype for multiverse.
We did get no. I don't think that has anything to do with it personally. You might be right.
I doubt it again, but it's a thought.
We did get to see what Gore, the God Killer, is going to look like.
Really?
Christian Bale's character.
Good, bad,
Um,
amazing.
He looks like he's going to be very CGI'd, but he did look good in my opinion.
Okay.
And it was a really interesting little shot we saw of him. I don't want to give it away.
No,
But,
that's fine. Yeah, don't give it away. I would like. I'm honestly really excited to see this movie,
yeah,
but
I'm not
scared.
but I'm definitely excited to see Christian Bale.
well, I'm excited just to see.
I
Thor
really
again.
hope he doesn't get thrown away.
Yeah. Is it just Christian Bale's face on a wooden figure?
I'm pretty sure he's gonna look like. Besides his voice, you want to be able to tell it was Christian Bale.
Okay. Anything else coming? Any other news?
Not really. I heard some stuff I won't say about Wakanda Forever, but
Whoa, that's wow.
yeah, I don't think anything else is new unless I missed something. I guess we can talk a little bit about some DC stuff coming out
Oh yeah,
this year.
we have not been talking anything else other than just Star Wars and Marvel. So
Right.
we thought, why not bring out some more stuff? Yeah. So we're getting 3 movies.
I think we're getting 3. Yeah,
We're definitely getting Shazam. Not Shazam. We're getting what's his name? Black Adam. We're getting Flash.
yep.
Black Adam supposedly is coming out soon.
Black Adam's getting released, I think July.
July. I was gonna say in the next 2 months here. It's close.
Yeah, July 29th.
Okay. then I don't know when. I have no idea when the Flash.
I think The Flash is November 4th. Wait, that'd be the same week as Wakanda Forever if it is. Interesting. Let's get some competition out there. And then Aquaman, I think, is in December.
Aquaman. Okay, those two are really close together. Then,
Yep.
all right.
I wouldn't be surprised if Aquaman got pushed back. But there is a trailer out for Black Adam.
Yeah.
I have not seen it.
I haven't seen it either.
I'll have to
Well,
figure
okay.
out who's
I
watching
lie.
it.
I lie. I've seen a very snippet of it,
I've not seen it.
and I saw The Rock.
Well, he is playing Black Adam. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm gonna like it.
Oh, I know I'm not gonna like it. No, it could be good. I don't think I'll like it. But yeah, those are coming out next week for Back and Forth. Gecko Man, what's going on?
Well, first off, of course, we got the next episode of Moon Knight,
Oh,
and I believe we're going to be doing our verses.
our first Marvel DC versus.
Yeah, we're going to be pitting. Who are the two characters again? I kind of forgot.
Moon Knight versus Batman.
That's right, Moon Knight and Batman.
So
I knew
everyone
that.
calls Moon Knight the Marvel's Batman, right? So, and we just got a Batman movie. We're watching Moon Knight right now. I was like, why not? Let's put them against each other.
This will be. I believe we're going to be doing Christian Bale's.
No, we're doing full everything.
Okay,
we
okay.
can draw from anything.
All right. So, as usual, Rogue Gambit over here is going to be taking Moon Knight because he is the Marvel expert,
Hey, what can I say?
and I'll be taking Batman since I'm not the DC expert. Yeah, and then other than that, also keep your eyes open because we have so many movies that we are going to be going to see here. We have.
We'll be watching Ambulance. I'm getting a little instant judgment out for that, and then
It'll probably be coming out. It'll probably be already out once this comes out. So.
probably, and then we'll also be having an instant judgment in a couple of days for Sonic
Oh,
the Hedgehog 2.
Bet you never saw that coming. Also, we will be going ahead to. I definitely will be. I don't know how much Rogue Gambit wants to come see this
I'll
with
see
me.
it. I'll be there.
I'm going to be going to go watch The Northman.
Yep.
Very interested in that movie.
Nope. No, I have low expectations, but I have high hopes.
Yeah, exactly. I'll say that's exactly how I feel. Like my hopes are so high that I want my expectations to be high, but they refuse. So we'll definitely do an instant judgment on that. And then
And then I don't know if there'll be anything until Multiverse of Madness after that. But
so keep your eyes open.
But yeah, couple of weeks. And speaking of Multiverse of Madness, I did finally get my trailer breakdown out there on YouTube. If you guys want to check that out.
Wait, really? I need to watch that.
No, you don't. Don't watch it.
Damn it. I was hoping I could. All right.
We'll see y'all next week.
Don't put yourselves inside a box.